This is not my fourth, but my third FDS. I had to miss one. And I'm very excited that we're turning FDS into a place where people can throw new ideas and experiment. And this is exactly what I'm doing today. So today, I'm going to introduce this new idea, which we call Filecoin Web Services. There have been other ideas that have been called Filecoin Web Services, but we want this new meme to stick longer than the previous ones. This is a directional talk. The whole message that I'm trying to convey is that we want to expand. We should expand. I'm suggesting the community to expand the Filecoin offer to a larger, more comprehensive cloud offer, which goes beyond storage backed by Proof of Replication. This is early ideas. I'm happy to share them here. I think this is the best venue to do so. It is a directional talk. This is not a specific product that we're announcing, a specific launch that we're doing. Here, I'm look forward to get community feedback on what is next to do in this direction. And I want to align, ideally, everyone to try to think with these new abstractions that I'm trying to present. So what is the Filecoin offer today? The Filecoin offer today is a storage offer backed by Proof of Replication. Proof of Replication proves that your data is uniquely stored in some computers. But Proof of Replication, for some use cases, can be slow. It's slow to retrieve, and it is good for long-term storage, but not very good for, and the average deal length is 6 months plus. And if someone wants to store for a smaller period, then it's not a perfect fit. And the current offer, it is a verifiable market. We have users and providers that lock tokens in the market. The user pays eventually the storage provider, and the provider loses collateral if they fail to store the file. So there is some sort of deal making, and then there is a service delivery, meaning the provider proves to the market that they keep on storing the data. And that's where proof of space-time kicks in. And then there is an SLA, a service license agreement, which is enforced through smart contracts. And in the native market, the deal is prepaid. This means that if you want to store the data for 6 months, you need to pay 6 months in advance lump sum straight away. And this is not ideal. And ideally, the market should change to enable that. But there is also another part that could be possible to change, which is the SLA. Today, if one storage provider misses a proof for 1 day, that's fine. If they miss it for the second day, it's painful. If they miss it for, I think, 30 or 90 days, I think this number kept on changing, then they lose their entire collateral. And this is a specific SLA, but maybe we could have a more flexible SLA or pay as you go. And with this in mind, we built this new protocol upgrade, which was direct data onboarding, where it still provides proof of replication backed storage offer. You can write any SLA you want. There are still some core SLA dominated by the protocol due to consensus reasons, but anyone can write any SLA, and there is any deal type. Most storage providers engage in deals with pen and paper and phone calls. Ideally, this gets on-chain. But there is more that we can do. We can go beyond POREP, and not only. Direct data onboarding is just a way to say, let's open the gates, but it's not a solution to say, that's how we should do it. And that late part revealed to be very complex. And I expect that there is a high threshold for people to get started to work on Filecoin or build new markets, because it requires a deep understanding of Filecoin and a lot of system design to get it to work. Anyway, so we talked about POREP. POREP today, hopefully in the future, is going to change, but today it's slow retrieval, very long deal times. If you want to store a file for a short period of time, it's not well suited for it. And replication as a property is not always needed. And so that's why there is a new project, that is the next talk from Jennifer, which is introducing a new proof, which is called PDP. It's a proof of data possession. This is not proof that your data is stored uniquely, but it's a proof that you have access to the data. And this provides a different set of guarantees, and you can think of PDP as a POREP without encoding. So it becomes faster. There's a different set of trade-offs. And what we want to give the ability for clients to pick the trade-offs or the features that they want. But why stop here? We have PowerApp, PDP, but there is many other services that will be either the ecosystem, the community at the Filecoin level, or the community in the more broader dPIN setting. There are more services that will be built, so why stopping just on PowerApp and PDP? So just to name a few, there is Spark. Spark uses random checks to check that the data is still around. Retrieve uses checks only when files are missing. This is the retrieval offer. And so the Filecoin protocol should allow beyond storage offer also the retrieval offer. And we expect actually an ecosystem of offers to appear while we build the tooling, and they are needed to do so. So as we were designing for PDP, we found that there is like still a deal making, a service delivery, and SLA enforcing. It looks exactly the same. We just swap the proof from proof of replication to proof of data possession. While we were designing retrieve, we also find a similar setup, which is the user deposits, the provider deposits, they may lose collateral if the file is not around when requested, and there is an SLA that is enforced, and maybe they will pick the same SLA as 1 day no slashing, 30-day full slash, or maybe that could be also changed later on. And there's another project which is called OnRamp that allows for users from a layer 2 to combine smaller deals into a larger deal. And if you think, when we were designing OnRamp, still there is a user that locks collateral, the provider locks collateral, the provider gets the Oracle proof that says this small piece of data is stored in a larger set of data in Filecoin, and this is the proof. And if for whatever reason they miss it, there is an SLA being enforced. Do you notice anything? There is very similar protocol structures in all of these protocols. There is a deal-making part, there is a service delivery or execution of the service, and there is the enforcing of an SLA. So the core idea that I'm trying to convey here is that we should break the understanding of these protocols being very similar in pieces. Understand what are the abstractions, and instead of letting every one team trying to go and solve this set of problems, deal management, escrow, bookkeeping. Ideally, there is good standards and good templates for doing this so that even the clients don't have to go and interoperate with all these different systems. Because ideally, there is one interface, one deal structure, and so on. So the core, even just stopping here, the core goal is to avoid doing duplicate work that is has a high threshold to access. So in this world where there are multiple services, someone wants to pay for PDP, for PowerApp, for retrieval checks or retrieval guarantees, they have to use every service, lock tokens in every service, and so it will be. So you will have to put money down for services that you want to use in different smart contracts, and then it will be many and many and many, and then it will be like too many, and the whole idea that of FWS, you can digest it on yourself, is that we're locking tokens in too many contracts, there is too many services, there will be collateral inefficiency, and there is prepayment inefficiency. Ideally, there is a single contract like traditional cloud storage, where you put your credit card down. This single contract acts as an escrow across services, meaning they keep the assets for the clients and they keep the assets for the providers, and they lock them for future payments. And ideally, you do pay for what you use. When you go on the traditional cloud, you put your credit card down and you get charged on a monthly basis. And I would like the future of the decentralized cloud to work very similarly. You put money in a smart contract and you say, I want to access this set of services and charge me for storage, not by saying, I want to store this file for 6 months. I don't know for how long I want to store this file. I want to put the money down and I want to be charged on a, say, daily or monthly basis. Ideally, there is a single entry point, and even more so, there is a single concept of a deal that points to a specific set of services that I care about, and a specific SLA that I care about, and a specific payment model. And in a way, this is the intuition. Ideally, we deposit, again, in a single contract. The deal points to each these programmable aspects. And so if we do this, then it will become very easy to write a service. Because in order to do PDP, Fileodds doesn't have to build a new market. They can tap into an existing market. They don't have to build deal management because they can reuse the smart contracts for deal management, escrow, and so on. And ideally, we achieve this modularity era in Filecoin, where the different companies that we have around building on storage, they are rebuilding the full stack. But ideally, they should focus only on one specific part of the stack. So that we can have competition on the different layers of the stack, and with competition, we expect to see new, cool, better services and products and so on. So this idea that I'm pitching today is joining all the dots that we just discussed. And I call it Filecoin Web Services. And it doesn't have to be called in this way. I just think that it's good. People relate to this meme a lot. So what is Filecoin Web Services? The way I envision that the way I would like us to design FWS is to be a very simple, thin layer. This is not the storage market that we have today in Filecoin. This is very opinionated on the way you pay, on the SLA, and so on. It's a very thin layer, and it only does money management, meaning escrow, collateral, payments, withdrawals, and deal management. So pointing what kind of service each user wants. And it is a set of interfaces and good standards so that we can have deals, SLA, and services. And the high-level overview is that it works exactly like all the other protocols that we just designed. What I'm trying to say is Filecoin Web Service is a byproduct of what we will be building anyway. We have to build this for PDP, we have to build this for retrieve. We may as well just build it once for all the systems. And the protocol, in very broad strokes, this is the example for PowerUp, is the user and the provider deposit some money into the contract, FWS. Then they exchange a deal, and there is the start of a deal. The prover, from now on, they only interacts with the provider only interacts with the PowerUp service, and they don't have to handle the FWS anymore. They just interact with the PowerUp service, and whenever they want to get money, they go back to FWS. Again, FWS is used for money management and deal management. So the provider only talks to FWS to announce that they made deals or announce that they want to get money out. But whenever they want to get money out, FWS then goes and check with the specific SLA of the deal, was this SLA respected? Does the service say that the SLA was respected, hence money can be withdrawn? So this will be the design. And a few things come for free. So the pay-as-you-go service here would kind of come for free. Whenever you want to have a PDP, you put down as many months of, you could put down as little as, say, 1 month worth of storage. And then if you want to stop the service, you take money out. This is how it works in most of traditional cloud. So this is another view for the same graph. It's just that we have users that send payments, providers that send deals and payments to FWS, and then providers interact specifically with the services. So we talked about a few services, and they are mostly related to storage. And so PowerUp is native in Filecoin. PDP would probably be just a smart contract on FVM. Spark is already a smart contract on FVM. And all of these services, the next generation of these services is that the service developer only writes specific services. But why stop only in storage? I was speaking a few weeks ago with Curio. Curio is this is a new miner client, and they said, oh, we can do zero-knowledge proofs for the users of Curio, so they don't have to use GPU. And it would be great to sell snark proofs for on FWS. There is already a market there. We already have storage providers that want to offload ZK. But if we can reuse the floating of zero-knowledge proofs for our proof of storage, we can offload ZK for many other use cases. Maybe there is a whole set of protocols. Maybe there is compute that is based on ZK, compute that is more optimistic, FHE, or maybe more AI-based stuff. I think that not all of these products we will have to build. And I'm going to get there. So the state of dPIN today is this huge set of new fantastic ecosystems that are growing, and we're building some of it. In a way, we're building PowerUp, we're building PDP, but there is a whole set of other protocols that we will not have time to build. The opportunity is too big for a single, not only for a single community, but for a single set of communities. And the goal here is we want to be providing services like PDP and PowerUp, but because we have a lot of network effect in Filecoin, we have resources, we have people that will put money down to buy for storage, we may as well just sell to our users other services, even services that we don't build. So we should welcome other groups like Curio to sell whatever they want to sell on Filecoin. And the dPIN landscape is much bigger than this slide. This is just 2023 December. We're in July, and I think this is much bigger now. So the dPIN ecosystem is expanding. There is a lot of specific offers, and each of these offers are well disjoint. And the fact that they are disjoint, it's good because you create competition. But also at the same time, it's bad because you cannot get like a full set of offer. And that's the direction in which we're going for FWS. It turns out that Filecoin happens to have, due to our expensive proof, this was not by design, happens to have a very large set of resources. We should reuse these resources, and storage providers are already reusing these resources. They're already plugging in other networks, and in a way without even passing from Filecoin, which kind of makes sense. But if we would be able with FWS to facilitate operating multiple nodes for different networks, then Filecoin could become this dPIN distribution for compute, storage, bandwidth, and other forms of other tasks. And today there is no such distribution layer. And so the idea is a marketplace for dPIN services. And how does this ecosystem work? No one is going to build services for free. The idea is that there will be a native service fee for all the services that we run. This is already the case. People pay gas for PowerUp. In the future, there's hopefully we're gonna brainstorm in the next few days on these ideas of onboarding fee for PowerUp, but there will be very likely a fee for PDP, a fee for retrieve. So every service will charge their own independent fee. And I think on the long run, maybe not in the short term, but in the long run, because we want to see all of these operations on chain, and because there is already a cloud offer for non-on-chain operation, we believe that there will be more and more users of this on-chain cloud, and FWS can take a fee out of the volume of the volume of a dollar or whatever token is chosen transacted over this exchange. These are just my own opinions. We can like argue on them, but we don't have to stick too much on this. The idea is if you charge the volume fee, you can charge in any currency, and then you convert the currency in Filecoin. Converting the currency in Filecoin on-chain forces the development of deep money markets, so deep AMMs. Because if, for example, if on day one, the fee is charged into Filecoin, the AMM for Filecoin dollar, say that the fee is charged in dollar, and then it's turned into Filecoin. If the AMM is not deep, you will get terrible conversion rate. And these are fantastic opportunities for the traders that will provide liquidity. So I think that the ecosystem of financial products around Filecoin will develop the moment we start charging in other currencies and then converting them into Filecoin. Ideally, we design ideally, this is not just like a good idea that Nicola has, but it's good design that a lot of engineers put into it so that we have good templates, good standards, and it will be easy to launch new services. And another opinion is, I don't believe that this needs to be necessarily just on Filecoin. This could be wherever people want to trade. And this is what Uniswap is doing in a way. Like you have Uniswap in any chain. And maybe at some point they will do the Uniswap chain, like the YDX did their own chain. But I think we should be wherever the market is. And the beauty is that we're building many services like on-ramp and so on that link to the Filecoin chain. And I expect that there will be a growing economy of services. There will be several services, Power PDP, that we will be building, Spark and Retrieve that the community will build, and other services that are already built. They just need to be connected. In the other room, there is a lot of folks from Jensen, Gavulot, and so on. And so they should just be building the connectors. And then I expect that there is a new kind of entity in the space, which is the reseller or the packager. I don't know how to best call them, which is services that package. Maybe today this service is just package PowerUp, but maybe one day they will want to package PowerUp with some retrieval services to make sure that you store and retrieve your data, or maybe there are services that will pack storage with compute, and so on. And finally, there is the providers that have resources, and I expect that it will be too many slides to explain what I think it could happen next with the resources. There could be resource managers that best allocate resources in the same way we have fund managers that best allocate funds. Finally, Filecoin today is mostly a long-term storage offer, and I'm proposing that we should expand beyond that. And this doesn't come with FWS, this comes with PDP, and at the very least. But we can do more. We can have more protocols be built. Filecoin today is a bit, sorry, I think something went wrong with the slide. Or maybe it was too late when I finished, I was editing it. But the idea is that we want to lower the barrier to entry to develop on Filecoin. And people should just be building services. They don't have to build the full market stack. And what we want to see, we don't want to see low capacity utilization, low revenues in the network due to gas, cost going down. We want to see higher network utilization. This means potentially increase the storage offer and higher revenues by charging for the new services that we will be launching and the volume fee. Filecoin is a large dPIN project, has a large amount of resources, widely distributed token, and as an ecosystem of storage services, I think it's perfectly suited for sure for providing a storage offer. It's a bit more speculative to say that we will be able to have a good compute offer to come to us, but I think that there is no other player in the space that is well suited to be this distribution layer. So to conclude, milestone 1 is let's think about what we need today. Who are our clients today? Our clients today are, if AWS were a company, our clients would be PowerUp and PDP. We want to make sure the PDP and PowerUp can sell on Filecoin. And we need to build the market for these two services. But as next steps, as we build those things, we should be able to extend FWS for other Filecoin ecosystem services like Spark and Retrieve, and on the long run to a much broader set of services that they don't have to be necessarily launched in Filecoin, but they can link into FWS. There was a lot of slides. Thanks a lot for keeping up with me.